What's up, everybody? I'm John Hansen. You're here watching this video or listening to this podcast because you have the number 3 pick and you're not so sure what to do with it. Welcome to another edition of Hansen's Hints. Once again, I am John Hansen. Well, it is a tough spot because we all know that most drafts are going to open this year with Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, whatever order, they're going to be the first two dudes off the board. Now what is the question? I think there's a little bit of a drop off to Tyreek Hill or Cooper Kupp. Do you go running back? Heck, do you go tight end with Travis Kelce? Well, I've been looking at this throughout the month of July. I've been digging in deep here, and I feel like I have come up with the optimal route, at least for now. ADP is constantly changing, and of course, we also look at the fantasy points generator, get the software's recommendation. Sometimes we go off the software's recommendation. Most of the time we stick with it. So that's what we've done in the other videos for pick number 1 and pick number 2. And here we go. Without any further ado, we'll go to a video of the fantasy points generator in action, and I'll offer commentary over the video. If you're listening just to a podcast, I'll try and keep it as painless as possible and not reference the video all that much. But the bottom line is you're at the third spot and you're not sure what to do. And I'm here for you to hopefully map out a beautiful direction, the optimal direction. So let's go to the video. Okay, we are back here at the fantasy points generator, getting ready to set up another mock draft where we draft from the number 3 hole in a 12-teamer snake draft. If you're watching the video, of course, if you're interested in checking out the fantasy points generator software, it does handle snake, third round reversal, NFL, or even customized draft orders. We will ignore the kickers and the defenses again. We will go with 2 flexes as our starting lineup requirement. That is a fantasy points jam in terms of our staff league, our staff dynasty league, and we are getting ready to rock and roll. Now, again, number 3 spot is a challenge this year. It's easy when you have an access to Jamar Chase or Justin Jefferson to open up a draft. Let's see what the software says. I may not agree. Well, it is going to say Cooper Kupp, which understood. It's going by the pointage. The advantage with Cooper Kupp's 310 fantasy points, for example, over his other receivers. Now, I have gone through this, and I'm here to tell you, as of at least July, mid to late July, that I think running back is the pick here in the 3 hole, just the way the draft was flowing for me based on ADP. So we're going to go with Mr. Christian McCaffrey. And of course, now we're already panicking a little bit. We do need to get into the wide receiver business quickly. And it's not ideal because he's his team's number 2, but it is kind of sexy. Skinny Batman, Devontae Smith, a.k.a. the Slim Reaper, who we do have at wide receiver 12. So technically he's a 1. In our book. Let's see where we go after that, though, on the round 2 to 3 turn here. And yes, we do love Jerry Jeudy this year. And yes, I'm all in. And yes, I'm going to take him, especially after opening running back. We need to hit wide receiver pretty darn hard. Now, next up here, the software is recommending J.K. Dobbins. But if we look at the advanced analytics, let's take a look there. We could get Burrow here like we did for the Team 2 example, but we are not going to do that because I figured out a better route. We could take Dobbins here, but if we waited a pick, we could get Dobbins again. We could take Ayuk. We're kind of like, no matter what we do, we're kind of in pretty good shape here after opening McCaffrey, Devontae Smith, and Jerry Jeudy. A lot of different things we can do, but once again, I want to be in the wide receiver business. I really want to hit it hard. It's tough. I'm gonna pass on Burrow, and believe it or not, because we started with McCaffrey, we are a little behind. I want to get Brandon Ayuk because I absolutely love him this year. And this is a pretty sexy receiver group here. Devontae Smith, Jerry Jeudy, Brandon Ayuk. It might be a little volatile, but man, if we're right on Jeudy and Ayuk, good night. So let's take a look what the software is recommending for us. And it's going to say J.K. Dobbins, and I'm okay with it. We already have our three receivers here. It's not the greatest threesome, but it's probably as competitive as anybody else is in this league, and we still got that despite going running back. So I feel pretty good now. So I'm going to get J.K. Dobbins. J.K. does not stand for just kidding. So first 5 picks from the 3-hole using tight ADP in late July were 3 wide receivers and 2 running backs. Not a shock. So let's move on to the next round. Well, software is giving us Rachaad White, and you know what? Because we did kind of wait on running back a little bit, and I feel secure at wide receiver. I'm okay with this pick right here. Let's take a look at the advanced analytics. We could wait a pick and still get Watson. We could still get White too. We could get Jordan Addison like we did in that last example. Or, wow, we could actually get Kyle Pitts. That would be pretty darn gorific. We're going to do it. We're going to absolutely, because look at him. He's the highest player on the available player portion of the software if you're watching the video. So, wow. Didn't expect that, but yeah, it lines up a little bit better here. His ADP is 68.7, and we are up to pick 70. So I think I have to do this because I know I can get. So now I'm going to give up on. Basically, I'm going to give up on Rachaad White or Deshaun Watson. I can't have it all. I cannot positively have it all. So we're going to make that decision, and we're going to go for it with Kyle Pitts because that's pretty damn sexy right there in round number 6. So now the decision is, would I rather have lighter depth at running back by passing on Rachaad White, or would I rather get my franchise quarterback? Basically, if we just look at the quarterbacks remaining on the board here in round number 7 at pick 75, I see the drop-off. I mean, no offense to Daniel Jones. I like him, but it's a drop-off. So I'm almost forced to pass on my guy, Rachaad. We do have J.K. Dobbins as our RB2, and let's get Deshaun. We're not messing around. So now we're good. Now we held off a little on quarterback and tight end while securing 3 really intriguing receivers and McCaffrey. Like, this is pretty damn good here. Let's move on to round number 8. Boy, this thing loves Brian Robinson, and I often pass on him because he's a little boring, but we are a little light at running back. Let's take a look here. We could wait a pick and still get Robinson. We could wait a pick and still get Sky Moore. So we're pretty much good here no matter what. Simply because I love Sky Moore so much, we're just going to take this guy left and right. Overall draft pick of 94. I mean, that's really not that bad. So there it is. Sky Moore's ADP, in fact, is 100 these days. So, okay. Sky Moore is going to be the slot receiver and probably lead their wideout group in catches. And people will realize that soon enough, I guess. Kadarius Toney opens up camp, by the way, first day, 23rd of July. Hurt his knee. We are on the clock here now. We could get boring again and go with. I think it's time. I think we just go get Brian Robinson, right? I mean, that's the pick. We could get Zay Flowers, but no, it's setting up for Brian Robinson for sure, and that is not too shabby. Let's see what the computer says. Of course, it says Robinson, and now at least we have addressed. We do have a third running back in Robinson, who is from this spot has got pretty nice potential here. Basically, at pick 100, if he can pop a little bit and catch the ball. I mean, his head coach himself told me that they want to get him the ball more in early down situations in the passing attack. So in a previous draft, I think I took McKinnon, but you know what? I think I'm going to mix it up a little bit here and see if I don't get taxed by the software. We already have McCaffrey, Dobbins. We know, by the way, we can get Gus Edwards very late, and Robinson. We could just go McKinnon. I mean, that's a good fourth running back, but I am intrigued by the upside of a Khalil Herbert grabbing onto a larger role. Of course, Elijah Mitchell probably should be the pick to protect McCaffrey, but this is a mock draft, so let's just go with. Actually, you know what? We'll go with McKinnon. That's fine. I mean, I could have taken Khalil Herbert there, but doesn't really matter. It is hard to kind of draft for real while mocking. You know, I mean, it's hard to put myself in that position. Like, if this was the $2,000 league, which one would I have done? Probably would have gone Herbert because it's a little bit more of an upside type of play. Now we are still adding wide receivers. Like I said, we've got our quarterback in Watson, Deshaun Watson, and we've got Kyle Pitts. So we feel pretty good adding quality wideouts. Software saying Darnell Mooney, and I love Darnell Mooney in this spot. 120 some odd picks into a draft. Moving on, it would behoove us to get a good tight end too, just in case Pitts is the Pitts. And Cole Kmet was the tight end 8 last year. I know there's only one ball there, but he is Mr. Red Zone, and a lot of the play action stuff that Justin Fields works off of, the running element, goes to Cole Kmet. We could add Devin Singletary here. It's pretty boring. We are in round number 13, pick 147 overall. We have our QB1. We've got our RB1 and RB2. We've got our wide receiver 1, 2, and 3. We've got our tight end 1. We've got 2 running backs on the bench already, and 2 wide receivers and a tight end. So, very balanced squad. We're not really pressured to do anything of note. No need to take Kenny Pickett here as our backup. We could go Rashid Shaheed. That's actually kind of sexy. Let's do that. I like Rashid Shaheed a lot as an upside type of a guy. So we shall bring him into the fold if I can find him. There he is. Maybe the software doesn't like that. It's a little aggressive. We just took him at 148 overall, and his ADP is 160. That's not too bad. By the way, I do not know what place this will come in when we add up all the points at the end of the draft. So if it's still 1, that just goes to show that, you don't have to. There's many ways to end up looking really good and be horrific without. You don't have to stick to one set plan. Let's go with Kenny Pickett here as our backup quarterback. Make sure we're good just in case something happens to Watson. That's a pretty good idea. And wow, it's going to recommend Chase Brown again. That's a pretty darn good pick for upside at 171 overall. His ADP right now is like 195, but he is a Joe Mixon injury away from maybe even being an RB2. And I think that Chase Brown in Cincinnati is going to get well over 100 touches. So leaving some good players on the board. John Mechie I like a lot. I see Juwan Johnson there, but we'll go with it, and we'll see. This is going to be very interesting to see how we sound. I'm going to guess we probably came in like second place because we went off the software a couple of times here, but let's take a look at where we rank. There it is. That's a damn good guess. Starter rank came in at second, but total points, number 1. So there it is. Not too shabby. Could McCaffrey be the answer if you're in the number 3 hole? I believe I may have shown you that, yes, it is. So once again, let's take a look at this starting lineup from the 3 hole. Deshaun Watson, Christian McCaffrey, and J.K. Dobbins. Devontae Smith, Jerry Jeudy, Brandon Ayuk, Kyle Pitts, very sexy. Sky Moore, sexy. We got a little boring in Brian Robinson and Jerick McKinnon, but okay. Also got a little boring with Cole Kmet. Not too bad, though, as a tight end, too. Darnell Mooney and Rashid Shaheed, I believe, were on the sexy side of things, along with Kenny Pickett and Chase Brown. Not too shabby. there's a look at how you can draft from the number 3 hole. Thanks for listening to Hansen's Hints. Continue to like and subscribe. Throw us a bone with a good comment, favorable review on a podcast platform, wherever the hell you're at. Give us some love, and we'll catch you next time.